Happy Friday. How are you? Hey, good to have you here today. If it's your first time coming and you're imagining me in your mind right now, like, oh, listen to this guy. What's he look like, I think? Well, you can see me on my website at motivationtomove.com. You can see what I looked like about 6 weeks ago. And if you go to my Facebook page, you can see what I look like now because I decided to grow a beard, which has been a big deal for me. I know it's not a big deal for a lot of people, but change sometimes is a big deal, isn't it? We'll talk about that here in a second. It is a daily boost from motivationtomove.com. We're going to dive into the strangest secret for success today based on Earl Nightingale's work such a long time ago, the mentor of mine that got me into the show. And actually, I set a goal based on him for this show, and I'm getting close to it. Kind of crazy. You know the other goal I'm getting close to? The goal of never running a marathon in my life. And I am at least 60% of the way there. I'm so close to not ever running a marathon. It is awesome. When you come to my funeral one day, it's going to say, the man never ran a marathon. Awesome. Anyway, good to have you. My name is Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com. Yeah, it's funny because don't be scared. It's just a beard. Isn't that George Carlin back in the 70s? I miss him. Can you imagine what George Carlin would be like these days if you know his work? What he would be like these days? Him and Richard Pryor, these days? They couldn't even exist these days. Funny joke, though, about the beard. But, change is interesting. So I deal in change and growth all the time. That's what I do around here. And I always do it myself. I'm always just trying to push myself to the limits. And so it's really odd that I would be like talking about growing a beard and be like freaked out about it because I've never done it. I've been a clean shaven guy my entire life. And I've always been that way. And I just kind of decided about 6 weeks ago with the help of my millennial son-in-law who said, dude, you look good in a beard. And he had a massive beard. It's fantastic. I said, oh God, would I kill to have that beard? So I started growing. So I'm going to be really honest with you right now, okay? And maybe you felt this way before. You know that imposter syndrome thing that you get? We all get it. And when you move out of your comfort zone a little bit, I'm walking around thinking, what's that woman looking at me for? Is she scared of me? It turns out I look pretty good. They like me. The guys, the beard bro club, I guess, holding doors on what's up, dude. It's interesting. But every single day I want to shave it. Every single day I want to stop my goal. My goal is to go 3 months and see what I get. I'll trim it for there and see what happens. Not even cutting my hair either. Every single day I want to stop. I set a goal to do it, and yet why do I want to stop? Because it's just out of my comfort zone. I look in the mirror, I say, who's that? Doesn't look like my dad at all. This is a good thing about growing a beard. If you start looking like your dad, when you get older, just grow a beard. If your dad didn't have a beard, you won't look like him. It's awesome. I look like somebody else. What are you doing today that every single day you want to stop? It's not hurting you to keep going, but you want to stop. I know it's a small little thing. Something to chuckle at, too. This is dude in a beard. Come on, what's the big deal? It's funny how things become a big deal when they're your big deal. Well, since it's Friday, how do you want to feel? It's a little question I ask myself every single day. But on Fridays, I remind you to ask it. You have a choice of how you want to feel in life. If you're watching TV and you're getting mad, if you're getting gaslighted all over the place by the media and everybody else and you get mad about it, just decide not to be that way. Your life is better. You decide how you're going to feel and don't let anybody ever take that away from you. Nobody has the power to make you feel any other way than you want to feel. But I'm telling you, a simple little question. How do I want to feel is going to open the floodgates of how you really, truly want to feel in your life. And once you get that confidence to be there, you won't allow it to happen ever again. You'll always feel great. Ask the question, how do I want to feel? Okay. Are you a Daily Boost Premium member? Just go to dailyboostpremium.com. You get this show commercial free. The Strangest Secrets for Success. So Earl Nightingale produced The Strangest Secret a long time ago. I talk about him occasionally. He did it as a sales presentation. Isn't that where most motivation comes from? It starts as a sales presentation. No, Scott, it's all about setting goals and being happy and purpose. Yeah, but pretty much it's about driving sales. That's where it all begins because that's where the money is. That drives everything, right? But he had an insurance company. He had to drive a sales force. So he wrote The Strangest Secret. It is a motivational standard. You can get it on YouTube. You can find it. It's, he talks like a guy back in the 50s, but he did 5,000 radio presentations. He is the reason I do this show. He is the reason I set the goal of 5,000 Daily Boost episodes, and it looks like it's about January 3rd, 2025 that I hit those 5,000. Getting close. But he did The Strangest Secret. It is a classic. If you haven't heard it, it's one of those classics of secrets of success. You should pay attention to it. If you have heard it, you need to listen to it again because it's so simple. So let's get into it a little bit. I kind of broke it down into about 7 points here. And then we'll get into the middle of it and give you my thoughts on some of that stuff. Number one, we talked about it already this week. You become what you think. So if I were you today, I would audit what you're thinking. You become what you think automatically. It's automatic motivation. Whatever you're thinking about, you get. You don't even have to work at it. It's just, isn't that strange? How do I do it, Scott? Show me the way. Okay, stop thinking about that crap. Thinking about the good stuff. That's it. So your homework assignment today is to think about what you're thinking about. And then if it's not what you want, if it's not serving you, if you're not happy, then change it. Hard? Yeah. Until you get it figured out. Once you get it figured out, you'll immediately not think that way. I don't hang around negative people because I don't think negatively at all. And I used to think, why is he so negative? I used to think about that. And I found that then I would start thinking about negativity. So now when I run into a negative person, I go, that's strange. And I move on. That's about it. Okay. Have a good day, friend. Just don't even see it anymore. Number two, you must pay the price. You got to pay the price in so many ways. That means if you want to build a business, if you want to build a relationship, if you want to build a house, you got to work hard. That's not real popular these days. People don't want to work hard. That's in the news all over the place. I think people actually do want to work hard. They just want to do what they like to do in a way that really serves them and satisfies them. But still, it's hard work. You got to pay the price. If you want to start a business, if you knew what I do, listen, I work 90 hours a week doing my own job and building a podcast. And I have done it 5 or 6 times since I started this show. I did it in the past year. I paid the price because I wanted to make a change in a different direction. It was time to iterate again. I put in the hours that you didn't see me do, and now I'm starting to get the dividends of it. You got to pay the price. If you're not willing to dig down dirty, get deep, and stop looking for the easy way out, you're not going to get what you want. Truth. Not new truth, just the truth. You must control your thoughts, just like you become what you think. And I kind of meandered into that a bit ago. You got to control what you're thinking about. The minute you catch, like we asked the question today, how do you want to feel? The minute you start feeling a way you don't want to feel, you need to control it and get it back on track. It takes discipline. It takes practice. And eventually it will become second nature to you. And people look at you and say, how are you so positive all the time? I say, I control my thoughts. 4, cut away the limitations of your mind. They are there. We all are there. We all have them. And they seem to make them like Doritos. They just keep making them, huh? They keep coming. It doesn't matter what you do, you find your limitations. And some limitations are real. They are. But the limitations in your mind are not real. If it's a logical one, if it's a physical one, if you look at it and say, okay, that's real, I'm right on with that. A lot of my coaching is that way. People say, yeah, I just feel this limiting belief I have in my head. I said, no, dude, that's real. It's really hard to do. It's almost impossible to do. It's not you, it's that. It's a thing. So sometimes it's that way. But man, these limiting beliefs you have inside of what you can do and what you can't do, you got to cut away from them. You got to believe that anything is possible and then can prove that it is or that it isn't. But don't do the limitation. Just get the proof. 5, set a clearly defined goal. It should be number 1. I don't know why I didn't put it number 1. I don't know. Clearly defined goal. I talked to a gentleman this week who had a goal of being successful, making a lot of money, doing all kinds of cool things. But I noticed in the conversation, he said, yeah, but I'll be happy if I did this. I said, no, you wouldn't be. That's your real goal. Your real goal is you'd be happy if you settled. It's your real goal. The story I share all the time. It's like a woman who gets a divorce. What do you want? She tells me everything she doesn't want. Her real goal is what she doesn't want, not what she does want. Set a clearly defined goal. Hard to do? You better believe it is. But here's the thing. As soon as you get clear on your goal, everything else gets out of the way. You're a laser-guided missile going after your goal. So set a clearly defined goal, and if you can't figure that out, that's what you got to figure out. Hard? Yeah, takes time. In fact, I will tell you, sometimes it takes months to figure out your goal. Just accept it's going to take time to dial it in. You got to go with lots of iterations to get there. Eventually you will. And sometimes you wake up in the morning with it. It just happens. You know that. Number 6, act promptly when your path is clear. I know that's a scary part, isn't it? I'm actually endeavoring that right now. I just completed a major project. It's taken me, I think, about 10 months to do. It just was endless. My wife was laughing at me every single day. Every day I'd say, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. And she said, really? You're almost done today? And then she started coming in and saying, is today the day you're done? I said, we'll see. And just in the past day or two, I've been walking around going, wait a second, I think I'm done. I think I did what I was going to do, and it's done. It's ready to build on now. Guess what I have to do? I have to go back on that clearly defined goal that got kind of in the muck while I was building everything else out. And now it's time to go and act promptly on that path now that I know it's clear. You got to do the same thing. And his final goal, there was still works today in all kinds of ways. Save 10% of every dollar. In fact, I would go so far as to say it's actually more important today to do that. And I will tell you that if you want to be real success in life, when you save 10% of every single dollar, eventually it compounds. You make more money, you get more stability. But all the stuff I just talked about compounds as well. There's nothing better than compounding success. You compound good thoughts, compound your discipline, compound your goals, compound your clarity. When you compound all that stuff together, eventually you build a solid foundation and you start getting every single thing you want. Not to say you don't have everything you want now, but there is more, right? You wouldn't be listening to this show if there wasn't more that you wanted, more change. Do more than you must. Do more than anybody else. Do it better than anybody else. Make it so nobody can ignore you. Commit today to do more than you must, and you get everything you want. Man, oh man, that's a long show today. I must have shared some stuff early on. In the flow, my friends, in the flow. Okay. Hey, share this show with other folks. If you like it, let them know. Hey, just tell them, hey, you might not like this guy, but maybe you will. I like him. And if you haven't written a review over on iTunes or wherever you are, just go ahead and do that for me. Make it positive. If you can't say something good, just ignore me, okay? Daily Boost Podcast /Facebook is where you find me on social media. And if you'd like to be part of my Daily Boost coaching program, the premium program, just go to motivationtomove.com and check it out. Oh, sorry for all the stuff. I'll see you tomorrow or Monday.